Okay, we're going to make a collage in a surrealist collage using these magazines. So first thing, flip through the magazines and find images that you think you could use to make a surrealist collage. So love mouth there, maybe that's one I'm going to use. And you're only going to pull out about between 4 and 6 images that you can use. So flipping through here, like the finger here, so I'm going to pull that out, a little hand, that could be fun. Flip through here, find some more. I've got all kinds of magazines for you to flip through. Ads are great for finding strange things. I think I need this duck head. So I'm going to tear out the entire page and then I'm going to cut it out carefully later. Okay, after you are done and you've found several images, put your magazine away. And you need, just remember, between 4 and 6 images. Then you're going to get a piece of paper from my trays or my drawers of construction paper, but you are only going to use half. So I'm trusting you guys with the paper cutter. It's a small paper cutter. If you can use scissors, you can use a paper cutter. And you're going to cut these in half, which means you're going to measure it at the 9 inches mark. So remember, at the 9 inches mark, and you open it up, slide your paper in, line it up at the measurement, hold your paper down, and cut. And then you take half and you leave the other half. And if somebody has already cut the half that you need, then you can just take theirs. So I'm going to use 2 pieces of paper. You can use 1 or 2, but no more than 2 pieces of paper for this project. Then you're going to make your background. Now your background can be a landscape or it can be a room. So if you choose to do a room, here is how you do a room. You draw a rectangle in the middle of your paper, and then from the corners of the rectangle you draw a line all the way to the corners of your piece of paper. Now you have a floor, a ceiling, and 2 walls. I'm going to draw a door to really show that this is a room. If you draw windows, make sure they are trapezoids as well, going in the same direction as your wall. That will give the illusion of it being a room. And again, if you're going to have it be a room, make sure that the trapezoids are going in the same direction as the wall that you're drawing it into. Okay, I am not going to be doing a room, however, I'm going to be doing a landscape. So I'm going to be doing a landscape with a pink sky and green grass. And I'm just tearing my grass here to create my horizon line. There's my grass. And we're going to be gluing this down with glue sticks, so be sure you use lots of glue stick on the back so that it will stick down, because glue stick does not like to stick. So we're going to use glue stick here to just glue it down. Now I've already pre-cut some images out from some magazines that are different than the ones I picked out, because I have pre-cut these out that I would like to do. And this is going to kind of tell a story in my head. I want you to sort of put a story together, but it doesn't have to be an obvious story. So my story is that one day the baby was screaming very, very loud, and it gave me a big headache that made me feel like my head was in a vice grip. And this big mouth here, it represents the big crying. So loud, it was so loud. So I'm going to turn this mouth into a hill. I'm just going to tear off some of my grass, and move it around until I like where it is. And as you can see, I have very carefully cut out each one of these images, so there is none of the background around the images from the magazine. And I'm just rearranging these until I get exactly where I like it. And then, so I had this big headache from the crying baby, but fortunately the dad came and my husband came and kissed the baby and made the baby stop crying. And I've got this rose, and that is just me dripping my love onto him. So I've got permanent markers for you to use, and you can use the permanent markers to color on to your magazine and onto your construction paper. You can also use regular markers to color onto just the construction paper. Okay, so as you can see here, I am coloring onto the construction paper with just some regular marker, and then I'm going to get some permanent marker, and that can color onto the actual magazine itself. You can also use the permanent marker to color the face or to retint something. If you want to retint something with the permanent marker, you can do that. So here, let me go ahead and show you an example of, I'm using the permanent marker if I just need to add some little horns or mustache or something silly to a magazine image. You can't use regular marker, you have to use permanent marker. Or you can just tint lightly colored images. You could recolor them like I've done here. And then when you're all done, make sure that you glue everything down, that it's glued down really well, and that make sure your name and class code are on the back.